What's going on YouTube? It is Lako here and coming at you with another F1 2021 League Racing video. Here are the results of Portugal. You can see we did get some penalties that dropped us down to P10. The biggest penalty that was shown was our collision with Peso and into Zach. And it was two minor penalties, so we did drop back a little bit. Here's the Constructors' Championship. Things really took a turn, with Zona winning for Aston Martin and Broski getting second. Alpine have moved up, and we are now P10 in the Drivers' Championship. We're ahead of our teammate by 2 points. But you can see Zona and Broski, they're up there. And, my goal is to try to, I want to try to get like top 8 or top 7. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're here at Silverstone. Here is our hot lap. Honestly, this is one of those tracks that I'm terrible at in this older game, but in the newer game, I love it so much more, and I'm a lot better at it based off of like preference and feel. So, yeah, it's hot lap time. We're nicknamed Great Lake. That's because of a different league-related thing in a whole different game. So we'll skip through that. But yeah, right now, we're kind of doing even with our previous lap best, but it's because I ended up failing Sector 2 and I think Sector 3 as well. That is where I really gained on lap time because, I thought honestly I was going to be a lot lower, and I was convincing myself this entire week, okay, I'm not even going to bother putting a lap in. I'm going to qualify P20. But as soon as I saw people get their lap times in, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty close to what we can do. So let's go ahead, let's give it a go. And we're up 2/10 right now. We're feeling pretty good, pretty confident. We're losing a little bit of time because we went very wide on that corner, but we can still make up for it here in this final bit because this bit can be very hit or miss. Just depends on your braking zones and how quick you can have grip and acceleration. And we actually were improving quite a bit to the point of P5. Not too bad. We do stay P5, and you can see Red Bull have a sub in Tagmata. He's basically the best driver that is available on like the entire grid from teams to reserves. So it's gonna be a lot of work if we want to keep him behind us. You can see Alfa Romeo doing their classic, top 3 pretty much every single qualifying session. So yeah. At this point, for us, we're just going to do what we can here at Silverstone. I don't expect it to be the greatest of races, but we shall see. The last time I did race here, I got absolutely dive bombed into turn 1, so a little paranoid coming into this first corner. So we'll see how we do here as we're getting ourselves set up here for this race. And it's time for the 5 red lights here as we start P5 here at Silverstone. And it's lights out and away we go. And we kind of got an average start, but Tagmata got a really good start. But he's going to back off by the looks of it right away. So we are going to hold position at P5. And you can see all the leaders. Nothing's really changed here in the top 6. So not too shabby so far. But goal is to just keep our head down and see if we can stay with the top 4, because they're basically the best of the rest, or not the best of the rest, they're the top group. But yeah, we see if we can really compete with these top guys. This is a track that it's just a lot of full speed and high speed cornering. There is some slow bits, but not really a whole lot, so mistakes are a lot more noticeable if something does happen, and it could cost you your race as we go almost very wide there into Corbs. But not too bad of a first lap so far. We're going through the S's. Of course, with high fuel, things are a little different. You can see just the big difference between us and the leaders, just how much more pace they have. Also just a lot more control with their car, because in the mini map to the left, you can see we're starting to separate a little field, and that'll actually be a common trend in this race. The field just gets separated into like tons of little chunks, and it basically just shows, I guess, the skill level of what the league is in. And where we are in terms of the rest of the field. But yeah, right now still got Tagmile behind us here on lap 3. You can see bottom left the difference between the top half and the bottom half so far. So yeah, it just changes even more soon. You'll see it all unfold. But yeah, Tagmata, he gets right past us, so I wasn't gonna fight him. There was just no point. He's way faster than us. He shouldn't even be down at P5. He should be up there with the leaders currently fighting. And lap 5, we're gonna start with the common trend of I'm leading a DRS train and I gotta defend for my life as we're about to go nearly too wide here into Corbs. But luckily he did back off. He did get a good exit, but it's not quite enough for the overtake before the S's. So gonna keep ourselves a little bit together, and hopefully we can just keep ourselves leveled, because yeah, now if you look at the bottom left, there's the leaders, there's the midfield, and then there's basically the bottom field. So that's how it goes. But Peso's going for the attack on the outside. We try to defend, and of course, you know, with high fuel and tire wear, you know, sometimes there's gonna be a lot of sliding into cars in this video, if I'm being honest, because it's just the different levels of grips, and just, yeah, there was a lot of racing, and I'm really hopeful that we didn't have too many reports, because yeah, it was just a lot of racing stuff. I mean, I was just being aggressive defending because I really want to hold P5, because behind us, Braided actually spun himself out, so it helped a lot that he did that. And me and Peso, once again, we're going too wide, and we were a lot more committed, but Peso backs off into the S's. So he already has a 3-second penalty, which is a good sign. It's crazy how such an open track like this, people still get time penalties. But I'd still say it's not as consistent as it is in 22. But we're still holding our ground. We're parked in the middle. Peso thought about a move, didn't go for it. And now here we are. You can see we made a crucial mistake. So we're going to have a terrible exit out of here. You can see Braided is now taking full advantage of it, as he is trying to catch back up to the leaders of the group, because yeah, that's where he should be at in these races. That is where he belongs. So we'll see how it goes. Can we maybe keep up with Braided, maybe just DRS train off him, and maybe we can catch up to Tag, who's trying to catch up to the top 3. We'll soon find out. But yeah, lap 8, not too bad. It's almost time for our pit window here, but you can see Braided actually spins out of the race, and that was just a huge mistake, and he actually lost so much time, and I still don't think he even reset himself back on track. So just lost even more time for himself. I can't tell, you know, you can only look at the dots, and I didn't see the dot drastically move back on track, so we'll see. But yeah, lap 9 is time for us to pit. Tag pitted a lap earlier, and I decided, all right, I'm gonna pit for Tag and see if we do get any closer to him. And Jay's also thinking of pitting as well. I think he was also pitting because of the threat of Tag. But yeah, so we're starting to see some of the pits come in, and you can see some medium runners are coming through past us, you know, doing the opposite strategy, starting on the mediums. On this track, unfortunately, I just don't have the confidence to do the opposite strategy of everyone else. I would have loved to, but with the trend of having early safety cars kind of costing us some positions in races, yeah, I didn't want to risk it. But surprisingly, no safety car 10 laps into this race, so we still got a little over half to go. And here we are at lap 12. You can see John's up ahead of us, 15-second penalty, but he also is on one of those medium runners at the start. Tagmata 8 seconds ahead, so just really no shot in catching up in this race. And yeah, for us, it is time to defend against Stas and Owen here, because yeah, we're basically the best of the midfield in this entire race. We just have to spend most of our time fighting each other. Luckily, they're getting a lot of penalties, and that is helping my case a lot, because I'm kind of sitting here in debate mode, like, should I really fight? Do I want to fight? And in all honesty, yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, work on my defending, see if I can keep myself clean in some instances, and this is I guess, the results of my current capability and skills. But here we are, lap 13. You can see John is struggling a lot, and you can also see Fallen has finally made it to the pits. I think he was the last driver to pit, so we'll see how much that helps him in this race. But our goal right now is to try to catch up to John, because he is our hope to give us DRS out of the DRS train. As you can see, Stas 9 seconds, so they're climbing up in time penalties, but we still have to use our battery because he is on the attack on us, and so is Owen. Those two are coming in full swing. You see Stas trying to go in through the inside, but we don't really let it happen since we parked where we did. I was trying my best to really just stay in the middle of, I guess, the braking zone, so going in the inside's risky and going on the outside would lose you time, if that makes sense. So I was trying really my best to pull you know, the classic radio message from Fernando asking Esteban to defend like a lion. And so I was really trying to go with that. And you can see John is just struggling for grip. We have so much more grip than him, and we do catch him into this DRS zone. So it's going to help us out so much in this race, because I was running out of battery and there wasn't a whole lot I could do against those behind me. So yeah, now just trying to follow John in this DRS train, and hopefully he can keep us up in decent pace. But I believe it is almost that pit window time for the medium runners, because yeah, you can see he's struggling a lot more and we're not really struggling much at all. So we're gonna do our best. You can see Zona, the previous race winner, by the way, is up at P5. I believe he started the race on medium, so that is why he is up there in terms of position. I was so happy for Zona that he got a race win. Much well deserved. I think the whole league was so happy for him in all opinions, because yeah, the guy deserves it. You know, he's a consistent top 10, top 12 finisher in this league, and for him to get a race win, like, just stunned and shocked everyone. But meanwhile, you can see Stas is going to the inside of us, trying to put up a fight, and we're just going to hold our ground, stay in the inside now in this corner, and we do secure the defend against Stas. So far, brilliant racing is going on between all of us, and you can see John's going very wide off of turn 1, and behind us, Owen gets ahead of Stas, so that'll help us a little bit. Hopefully they can continue to fight each other, but they weren't fighting each other too much, because yeah, you can see they're both at 9-second penalties, but Owen's right on our gearbox, and John doesn't have any battery to tow us, so we have to overtake John here. And it was near, I think it was full 3 wide there coming into that corner, and you see Owen is still behind us. I see the arrow, not realizing John is actually going to the pit. So I think this would be the one defend that just wasn't the right call. We kind of squeezed Owen off, I think off the track, or at least he was squeezed onto the curb. So we didn't give him, I think, the proper space, but I also was thinking John was part of the fight. But now looking back at it, he went into the pits. So yeah, I'll say it myself. I'll admit, I think that defend was a little too much. But till then, we still got the whole race to go. And Owen, you know, didn't lose too much. He's still within DRS, and so is Stas. So still got a whole lot of fights going on. And we're going to just keep our car to the outside, because we know we're going to eventually get the inside line here. And we're just going to, I mean, you can see the levels of grip are starting to fall off, because we're starting to push him extremely wide. And he taps us a little bit, and I think he gets pushed off track just a little bit enough. It was enough to affect him, and Stas was able to come through. And unfortunately, we have the other Owen in the Ferrari in 7th place, and that's because the McLaren Owen, he actually disconnected during the race. And because of that, it gave us an opportunity to just let Stas through. You know, I was in comms with my teammate. I was just waiting for them to get more and more penalties so I could be more confident, because I know Stas had a lot of pace, but I wasn't sure if it was just because of the DRS train or not. But yeah, he's at 12 seconds of penalties. I figured, you know what? I'm tired of fighting the entire race, so we're going to stay behind him. And here is the final lap, because we pretty much just stayed behind him the entire time. Thought about overtaking him, you know, going for it, but it really became scary when it rained, so I didn't want to risk it. So yeah, we just stayed behind Stas the entire way through. You can see Fallen's in 4th place, even though he did win the race on track. You can see on the top left, Jay is the actual race winner based off of, you know, after the penalties have all come in. But it is going to be a P5 qualifying start and P5 finish for us here And what a drive it was for us. You know, we had to defend basically for the entirety of the race. And you can see the actual results here. Tag does get second. Zach moved up to third. We're fifth and 16 seconds behind Fallen. So you can just tell right there. And Urinate climbs a couple positions because of penalties between Owen and Braden's up at 10th, Zona 11th, Peso. And you got the rest of the field coming in to score the final points. And unfortunately, our teammate is a little too far behind here to steal the last point finish from Lil Shaq, because he ends up spinning on the final corner just before the finish line, and we're just screaming to comms, please no, like spin again. But unfortunate race for Nate. I believe he told me he just made a lot of mistakes and it costed him. So it was just unfortunate for him. We know what he's capable of. He can get he can get top 5 and top 10s like no problem. So we'll see how it goes into the next race of the season, which is going to be Mexico. I don't know at all how I am pace-wise on that track, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, not too bad of a race. I really enjoyed this race. It actually turned out to be a lot better than I was hoping for. Zona, once again, though, driver of the day. Pretty good for him, but yeah, great race. We had a lot of defending. And, you know, I would almost say there was just the one incident with Owen. That was just a little too much. But there's the unofficial results. We'll see if any penalties could help move us up or if we get moved down at all. But, yeah, not bad. You see, we were lapping a lot slower compared to the top of the field. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Take care, and I'll see you guys at Mexico.